In the previous video, we left off talking about the Zchain API. Zchain is a block explorer for Zcash, and the Zchain API allows you to retrieve data, details about the Zcash blockchain using code. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and make use of one of these API endpoints to build a little program that will check our account balance. So to begin, make sure that you are at the URL to the API. We talked before about all of the tools that are in this API are listed out in front of us, and what we're going to do to be able to get our balance, we're going to use this retrieve single account tool in this API toolbox. So we click it, they tell us how to use it, so they give us the URL, and then this endpoint, this end piece on the URL is a placeholder saying you need to put the address that you want to get the details for right here. And then they show us an example. So in the example, we can see there's a T address located just here, and see what it looks like. And then when we actually build the program, we're going to use our own address. I'm going to use the one that we've been using in the Jax wallet. And then if you're following along yourself, then you should use an address that belongs to you if you have one. So let's just copy this and then paste it up into Chrome and then see what it gives us back. Whenever we click enter, let it load, and we get back some text, some details about this account, and it kind of is all jumbled up all in one line. Now if we want to see this kind of displayed a little bit more nicely, we can copy it, and then we can open up this code editor here. This is the code, this is brackets IDE for writing code, and we can paste this in. I'm going to go ahead and click this button here that's going to make it look nice for us. So you can see the code editor is giving us some color differences. So the numbers are in this color, and the names of each one of the values are in this color. And then we have, this is called a string because it's got these two quotes. So here we can see the details that this API is going to give us back. It's going to give us back the address that we asked for. It's going to give us back the balance. And this is the thing we care about. So we care about the balance in our application. So we're just going to make sure that we have access to that. We do. So we'll close this out, and we'll go ahead and we will close this window as well. First thing before I open Jax, I'm going to show you how where we're going to write this program. We're going to write this program in PowerShell, which comes installed on your computer. If you have a Windows machine, then it comes installed by default. To get to it, you go to the search bar and type power, and then PowerShell should come up. It's going to have the blue icon. Click it, and then you'll have a blue screen that comes up, and then you'll have this command prompt where there should be a blinking cursor, and this is called a command prompt, is waiting for you to issue commands. All right, so now let's go back into our web browser, and I want to copy this example here, and we're going to paste that back into PowerShell. To paste in a PowerShell, you just right click, select paste if you get prompted, otherwise it should just paste right out for you. So now we're going to delete this address and this T address, and we're going to go get our own Zcash address that we've already been using. So let's open Jax. We're going to go to the Zcash wallet. In order to get the address that has funds in it, we need to go verify, and then this one has Zcash. So we're going to copy this address, this T address, and I just want to back out of here so this is showing us in our account again. All right, go to the Zcash account, and then we'll go back into PowerShell. All right, so we'll paste our address here. What we have identified on this command line, this prompt, is the endpoint that we want to use, and we have specified the account that we want to get details for. So in order to actually get those details from within PowerShell, you're going to need to go to the front of the URL, and you're going to type the following. I'm going to type invoke REST method. So invoke means to call, and we're going to call this endpoint, and an endpoint is also referred to as a REST method. And the reason is because it's just sitting there waiting for us to call it. All right, it's resting. And all we have to do in order to get the details is to click enter. All right, and so what we see is we get these, like we saw before in the text editor, we get this nice this value, we see the name and the value. These are called key value pairs. So this is a key, it's the balance, and its value is 0.01 Zcash. Now in our Jax wallet, we'll remember that our value is actually 0.02, but that's because we have two accounts that actually have funds in them. Okay, so this is just for the single account. We have 0.01, but the Jax wallet has multiple accounts behind the scenes that it's managing for us. So if you add those two values up, then you're getting this 0.02. So in order to get access to this balance, we can just make use of this API within PowerShell. So if you want to click your up arrow, you can get the command to come back to you and then go to the front of it, and instead of displaying it on the screen, we're going to save it in what is called a variable. So we're going to say $my account, and instead of the data coming out and getting just displayed on the screen like this, it's going to get saved inside of my account. So let's go ahead and click enter, and then notice the data did not go on the screen. But if we type my account, click enter, then we can see the data is out on the screen, but it's also still in my account. So the reason we did this is because now we can use what they call dot notation. We can put a dot, and then if we click tab, then we can access each one of these values one at a time. So we can just keep clicking, and we can go through all of those values. So we're going to stop on the balance, and we're going to click enter, and we see that we get our actual balance back, 0.01. So this is how with code you can access your balance within PowerShell. Okay, so you would use the Zchain API to actually call and get the details for your account. You would save them into a variable, and then you can access each one of those what they call attributes. So all of these are attributes of this variable my account. So my account has an address, it has a balance, it has a first seen, a last seen, sent count, received count, etc. And then we can access all of those with this dot notation. All right, so we can also do things like check details on this particular value. So let's say my account.balance, and then we'll do equals. So in order to do equals, you just do -eq in PowerShell, and then we can copy this value and paste it in. Go ahead and ask PowerShell if it thinks that these two are if these two are equal, and it says yes, they are. It's true. We can ask if our balance is, say, greater than, with a GT, say 0.01, and PowerShell will tell us true. We can ask if it's greater than 0.02. PowerShell will tell us false. These types of comparisons and access to this data is what will allow you to build an app using this API. And PowerShell is just one example of a programming language that will allow you to access this data and do these types of comparisons to build an app. There are a lot of other types of languages that will allow you to do similar functionality here that you see. So this video is getting kind of long. I think we'll cut it here, and then we'll come back in the next video, and we'll actually make our app that will check our balance for us every time we run it. Now, this video was meant to be, for beginners. I'm sure you didn't, if you already know how to use an API, this probably wasn't much for you. A lot of times I find that people are surprised at how easy it is to go ahead and make a call like this with PowerShell. So if you already knew how to make API calls, hopefully this was refreshing to see how easy it is in PowerShell that you can do this. If you're a beginner and this was kind of a lot for you and you have questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I hope this video was helpful. Please like the video, subscribe, support this DEEPLIZARD channel. Thank you.